Hello, good evening, and live from the Kia Boahema studio here at North Region Accra. Welcome to News Night on Metro Television. My name is Efia Fosua.
My name is Nana Yawanchi. Coming up in the bulletin. Minority in Parliament say they have been vindicated after Transport Minister reveals that out of the $17.3 million realized from the COVID-19 test at the airport between September to December 2020, Ghana Airport Company will only receive $1.1 million from Frontier Health Services.
And as part of Metro News' campaign against illegal mining, we'll take you to River Nkobra, which is gradually returning to its original state as government whips up the fight against illegal mining.
In business, the Ghana Stock Exchange recorded its highest monthly value for this year as value of shares trade hit 72 million cedis in May.
And later in sports, Ghana prepares for the 2021 Billie Jean Cup in Louisiana.
On the foreign front, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and United States President Joe Biden are expected to reaffirm the relationship between the two countries on the eve of the G7 summit.
We've got details of these stories and many more coming up in the next hour. Tuesday. You're welcome once again, and now to the first story. The Ministry of Health has responded to allegations that they bought overpriced COVID-19 vaccines through middlemen. In a statement copied to the media, the ministry said the government of Ghana bought the vaccines from the open market and not directly from the Russian manufacturers.
The issue of the role of intermediates buying vaccines was raised recently as the middleman located in the UAE was caught selling Sputnik vaccines to Ghana and Pakistan at double the original price. The story was first reported by Norwegian newspaper Verdensgang, which cited Ghana for purchasing Russian-made vaccine at $19 when the factory known price was $10. Marcus Tobesian is a lead investigator.
It was the Ministry of Finance. So we were granted an interview with the Ministry of Finance in which they confirmed that they had been buying the vaccines at a price of $19 per dose. It should be noted, though, that though the initial deal said 3.4 million doses, that has later been reduced. The Finance Minister now says that Ghana has agreed to pay for 300,000 doses and they have an option on another 1 million doses. But he sees that as a backup plan if other contingencies, such as the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, were not to be delivered.
On Monday, the World Health Organization warned of the danger of buying overpriced vaccines from intermediaries, reminding those countries should buy vaccines certified by the WHO and make sure to identify the origin of the product or contact the manufacturer to make sure that the intermediate is legal.
We have advised back to countries is to contact the manufacturer to make sure that the intermediate is legal, right? Because there is also the other side of this, because there's a lot of substandard and falsified COVID products being commercialized out there.
As the debate in Ghana heightened, the Ministry of Health called for calm as it prepares an official statement on the matter. Even before government official response, Chairman of Parliament's Health Committee, Dr. Ayu Afriye, defended government's decision to enter into multiple agreements with foreign companies for the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines at competitively higher costs.
As far as it is, about 7 companies have letters and various prices ranging between $12 to $19. So if the impression is created as if it is one company and it is created as if it is 19, the other question then is that what happens to the other people who quoted 12, those who quoted lower than $19, and who for some reason all of them have not been able to deliver.
This, however, did not sit well with NDC's Communications Director Sami Jemfi.
The reason why I am describing this as perhaps the most stinking corruption scandal ever witnessed in the history of this country is that I have not come across any country. Currently, the facts show that about 70 countries have bought the Sputnik V vaccine for their people.
Dr. Friye will still defend the price as he stated that the companies which quoted less than $19 have not delivered till date. On Thursday, the Health Ministry, in a statement signed by its Chief Director, Kwabna Boadu Oku-Afari, indicated that the $10 price per dose, which is being proposed as the correct price, is the ex-factory price, which is only obtained from government-to-government arrangements, and that the government of Ghana was unable to obtain direct supplies from the Russian government, as stated earlier. Hence, the resort to the market. According to the ministry, the initial price quoted for the vaccine was $25, but it was negotiated downward to $19. They further explained that at the time of the negotiation for the deal, there was scarcity or non-availability of the vaccines on the market. The ministry added that Ghana had also been informed by COVAX that the AstraZeneca vaccines would not arrive till the end of June 2021, so the officials were torn between accepting the price or face the situation of the seller withdrawing from the negotiations.
So we are trying to get through to the ranking member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, Kwabena Mintakanda, to respond to some of the justifications that the Ministry of Health has put up so far. We are trying to work the lines. I said when we are able to get through to him, we'll definitely bring you that interaction.
To other stories, the Minister for Transport, Kweku Esiama, has disclosed that an amount of 17.3 million was realized between September to December in 2020 from the COVID-19 testing, which was underway at the Kotoka International Airport. Out of this, an amount of 16.2 million was retained by Frontier Health Services, while the Ghana Airport Company received only $1.1 million, an amount the minority in Parliament insists it's a rip-off to the nation.
Minister of Transport, Kweku Esiama, made this known to the House on Thursday, following a question by the minority leader through his deputy James Aveji, who demanded to know how much has been made from the COVID-19 testing exercise at the Kotoka International Airport. The minister also explained that the contract between the Ghana Airport Company and Frontiers Health Services stipulated a ratio of $10 to $140 out of the $150 testing fee.
The Ghana Airport Company Limited, on the other hand, received $1,157,300 for the same period as royalties accruing for COVID-19 testing.
Per the contractual agreement, Ghana Airport Company is supposed to receive $10 of royalty per each test done, and Frontier Health Service was to keep the rest as their service charge.
That Ghana Airport Company rent their space in square meters to their client. That's exactly what it is. But in terms of the actual space, in terms of, because I will not be able to provide it now, but I will cross check. This is a House of Records. I do not want to mention any that the members will say that tomorrow. So if permission is granted, I'll come back to the House, give it actual square meters that they give to Frontier Service.
Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Dafiamapo, however, thinks the whole deal is a rip-off.
What were the circumstances under which this agreement was entered into with Frontiers, even at a time when Frontiers had no demonstrable experience in these lab matters? Because the evidence we later discovered was that the company was established about June last year or July last year, and by August they had been given the job to do. The minister has come to Parliament to say that a contract that this country entered into with Frontiers, a contract that is supposed to generate as much as $150 per every test, per every COVID test, this country earns only $10.
Away from that, former Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways under the NDC administration and Member of Parliament for the Wasa East constituency, Isaac J-Mensah, has challenged the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoah-Kwanta, to tell Ghanaians how many kilometers of roads the current administration built in its first 4 years in power. According to him, government's track record in road construction can never be compared to that of the NDC, which constructed over 10,300 kilometers of roads in its first 3 years in government under the former President Mahama. He was responding to a statement by the Minister of Roads and Highways, who said the NPP government constructed an unprecedented number of roads and bridges in its first term in office.
All bad and everybody's complaining. The issue of fix the road thing came up. And so the minister, I think that was in reaction to the fixing the road thing, he gave a press conference to the extent that, I remember he saying that we're talking about roads 4 years ago, follow us and so on. I think he got it all wrong, and I think it is a misplaced presentation. Why do I say this? As at the time that he was making the presentation, even now, records haven't been displayed or provided regarding the total road network inclusion or adding any network onto the road network now. The total road network now, I think, is about 78,450 kilometers. That's at 2016. So the question is that how many kilometers has the first and Nana-Akufo-Addo's government added onto the total road network? As we speak now, 73.8% of our roads are unpaved, and it's shameful. And many people are complaining. And these are the roads that have not been. So if you say you've awarded projects, we want to see delivery. Have you delivered? So as for talking about, I'll do this, good. You're asking about the funding source. You're asking about your engineers and so on. And we're asking about data. One of that we're talking about is equity. Where are these roads going to go? We have 16 regions. We need to see equity.
So some other stories, there's been high recent surge in daylight and highway armed robberies in the country. A careful observation revealed most of these robberies range from the attack on bullion vans, traders' bank, businessmen and women, and even churches. Let's run you through some of the recent daylight and highway attacks. So the various attacks we're presenting to you on the screen, which indicate churches and businesses, even some people who have very little to do with protection, are still being affected. In Sakumono on Monday, March 1st, 2021, between 3 p.m., there was a robbery attack on bullion van at Sakumono near Tema. The armed police were also ordered out of the bullion van by about 4 robbers, which ordered him to lie down on the road after he was disarmed and his service rifle taken away from him. So the robbers used their mallets to damage both the padlock and the second lock on the bullion and package the money and escape within waiting block Camry. So robbers made away with about 17,000 Ghana cedis and 50,000 cedis. So 2 men broke into the Forex Bureau near Onisakal in Osu in the same robbery during the day. This was in June 9, 2021 in the afternoon at 3:40 p.m. here in Greater Accra. Okay, in the eastern region on May 24, 2021, around 4:30 a.m., one person was shot during a highway robbery attack on the Koforidua to Kukrantumi Road in the eastern region.
So let's delve a lot more into these reports or summary we brought to you regarding the surge in daylight robbery and highway robberies in our country as it stands. Adib Sani is a security analyst. He joins us via Zoom for some analysis on this. Now, the issue of armed robbery, Adib, has been with us for God knows how long. But then now we are seeing most of these robberies occur in broad daylight. What, in your opinion, is accounting for this surge?
Well, first and foremost, it is important to recognize that the robbers have become more brazen. They've become more audacious in the manner in which they stage their attacks, primarily because of our inability to stop them in their track. They've become very motivated because of our inability to invest in crime and investigation. Mostly they perpetrate these crimes and they are left off the hook. We are not able to conduct elaborate investigations into it. So in the end, you have the same persons in the streets doing the same things all over and over again. It is also a psychological warfare of some sort. There are instances where robbers would rob and even wait for the police to arrive, then they ambush the police. It happened somewhere around Kaswa not too long ago. They've attacked police stations, they've attacked and killed officers in broad daylight, like it happened in front of Las Palmas at La Paz. Alaba is another classical case where they were on motorbikes and all that. So it's a way of letting the people feel that, hey, we are very strong. We have the firepower. We can do it and get away with it. So don't come in our way, okay? And that is what I find quite disturbing, because the trend seems to be going up, and we are not putting the right strategies and mechanisms on the ground to stem the tide, unfortunately.
Okay, Asif, you did mention right now about strategies and then what a nation would need to do to prevent them. So at the moment, we see cameras being mounted on the streets. I've seen a couple of them at East Legon and even at Osu area. What do you think is motivating these guys not to be scared of these cameras or even other things that will get them arrested?
Well, the thing is, they've devised ways of dodging the cameras, or even when the camera captures them, we are not able to really make use of the footage. But overall, in criminology, there's what we call situational crime prevention. Having cameras at vantage points is part of it, but it doesn't have to end there. There's the need for citizen participation in the crime fighting efforts. It goes without saying that for us to rely on the camera alone, we are not going to make any progress. But if we approach it multidimensionally, the camera playing a complementary role, we should be able to fight this scourge. And let me say categorically, without mincing words, that one of the most important steps we have to take is to improve intelligence gathering, because you'd realize that a lot of these robbers are syndicates. They are, crime groups. So if we are able to get our intelligence agencies to move and infiltrate these groups, we should be able to deal with them in a much more sustainable manner. Unfortunately, when you look at the manner in which we fight robbery, it's on location, situational basis. As and when it happens, then we go to the crime scene to see if we can confront them. But I think it is time to re-strategize so we are able to deal a big blow to them once and for all. Unfortunately, the approach we're currently using is not really producing any better results.
Let's talk about the safety of people who fall victims to these highway robbery attacks, for instance. What happens when I fall victim to when I'm in a bus traveling and then I'm attacked? What do I do?
Well, you need to, first of all, let me say this, and it's very important. Don't try to be a hero, please.
Okay.
When you are attacked, whatever they ask for, just give it to them. Look, your life matters more than the car, more than the jewelry, more than the money. Just give it to them.
All right, Adi.
Usually what they do is ask you to lie down. Okay, don't look at them. Sometimes we are curious. We want to look and see who they really are. In as much as it is important to be able to give the police a vivid description of who the robbers are, it is also important you obey whatever they say, so you don't make any attempt to find out who it is, because in the end, if you make any one of them up, that might be fatal.
All right, Adib Sani, thanks so much for speaking to us on Newsnight. I have an engaging Adib Sani. He's a security analyst.
Okay, to the camp of National Democratic Congress, NDC, running mate for John Dramani Mahama in the 2020 general election, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has called for unity among political leaders and Ghanaians as a whole. According to her, the unity among citizens and the country is surging in the sub-region is a prerequisite for peace, stability and development in Ghana. Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman was speaking at the 29th anniversary for the commemoration of the flag-raising ceremony at the party's head office in Accra. Here is a report by Shadrach Odame Ejari.
We thank God that the Constitution was put in place and it has turned out to be the most lasting Constitution for the country Ghana. Those who were saying that butchers, masons, and hairdressers could not make laws, they are now putting copies of the Constitution under their pillows. And not a single day passes without them referring to that butcher's Constitution. That tells you that literacy is not an indicator of wisdom.
For the first time in the history of the party, the main opposition National Democratic Congress is celebrating its anniversary without its founder, the late former President Jerry John Rawlings. The party, in marking its 29th anniversary, organized a flag-raising and photo exhibition ceremony to commemorate the day. Running mate of former President John Dramani Mahama, Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, called for unity among the citizenry and members of the sub-region.
Going forward, we need to survive on unity. I'm not talking about the friendship that's important, but I'm talking about unity of purpose. What do we want Ghana to be in 10 years' time? How about 30 or 40 years' time? Every continent I know has a development plan. So must we. It is not about Ghana doing well and Togo not doing well. Then we are going nowhere. It is not about peace in Ghana and havoc in another country close to us, then we are going nowhere. So we need to see each in the other. We need to connect the threads. We need to see that we are one people. Our borders are only artificial.
The event was crowned with cake cutting and a photo exhibition. For Metro News, Shadrach Odame Ejari, Accra.
The Director of Elections of the National Democratic Congress, Elvis Afriyie Ankrah, has cited the continuous declaration of wrong results by the Electoral Commission and what he considers as protection by the Supreme Court as some basis of the mistrust in the current leadership of the Jean Mensa-led Electoral Commission. He was speaking to Metro News' Shadrach Odame Ejari when he was asked to respond to the latest human security report from the National Security.
For the EU Observer report states clearly that the EC were not transparent in many respects, and they were very opaque in terms of their collaboration with political parties. We've had 7 elections in this country, and in all these instances, the EC collaborated with the various political parties, and but this particular one, they've become very, very intransigent. There was an opportunity for the EC to redeem itself at the Supreme Court. If they had mounted the witness box, if they had allowed us to examine the documents that form the basis of the declaration of the results, results that were declared at least minimum of 3 times different set of results, all having mistakes, it would have given Ghanaians the opportunity to know what actually went on. But unfortunately, the Supreme Court protected them. And so naturally there will be mistrust, because how can you declare results and you make mistakes, you correct the mistakes and there are mistakes in the correction, then you correct those mistakes, there are still mistakes in the correction, you have an opportunity in court, come and explain to us the basis, and you say you won't come, or the court says you shouldn't come. Let us examine the documents that form the basis of the declaration. You said that the court says no. Let's interrogate you and ask questions on some of the issues. The court says no. So naturally, there will be mistrust, and it's very dangerous for our democracy.
Now, away from the NDC, President Akufo-Addo has presented a list of his cabinet members for his second term. Like his first term, 19 ministers of state will form the cabinet in his second term. Apart from Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation, Ministry of Regional Reorganization and Development, and the Ministry of Social Development Initiative, all other ministries that featured in the 2017 cabinet also found their way in the list. On your screen currently is the ministers who made their way on the list. So you see Ken Ofori-Atta, of course, Minister for Finance, Alan Kojo Chiramatin, Minister for Trade and Industry, Honorable Dominic Nitiwo, Minister for Defense, Honorable Ambrose Derry, Minister for Interior, Shelia Yokoboche, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Godfred Yeboah-Dame. So you go all the way down to 11, where you see Honorable Isaac Che Mensah Bonsu, and then we go to number 12, Honorable Dan Boche, Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Honorable Samuel Abujinapo, Cecilia Abnadapa, John Peter Mewu, the man who did the marvelous at Hohoi. And then there was Ignatius Bafwewa. So the list goes on and on your screens.
You're live on Newsnight on Metro Television, also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News. We go for a break and return shortly with more. Do stay.
In Ghana and in Africa, there is only one place to look to get that luxurious design and decor for your offices and homes. Visit Jamila Home. We give you the climax of luxury wherever you find yourself. Presidential and executive office furniture, living room sets, dining set, stunning mirrors, adorable wallpapers, lovely king and queen size beds, valuable antiques and antique goods, beautiful chandeliers and more. Into the bargain, we provide caring customer service, prompt delivery service, skilled and artistic full house design and decor services, and free decor ideas for your space. Our products and service is unparalleled, boasting of top-tier clients all over the globe. Jamila Home, home of first-class quality furniture, beautiful chandeliers, and antiques.
Football pa and nothing a high sense as sponsor Euro 2020 Edia Mauno Nisa Suntin Ayatiti TV say who Edia Mauno a high sense Euro 2020 TV super promo Kwajo brand new high sense TV and board that for pictures near clear na color near deep sound quality this dear one it here high sense TV so the entry power about down one access you are akona utusa barefoot 18th June, Akopim 11th July. A Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. Emma Refisa, Hisense and Kwan, Emma 5 years warranty. A Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. Akosuwa Hisense showrooms at Wagana Fananina. What you dear Nansenya? Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people. Hisense, official sponsor at the Hero 2020.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
are still watching News Night on Metro Television, our social media handle, Metro TV Ghana on Facebook and YouTube. Now to some stories across the Galamsey areas. The once crystal clear river Ankobra became polluted and turned brown years ago due to activities of illegal mining along the country of the major river. Now River Ankobra seems to be gaining back its original state, as residents of the Ankobra in the western region are commending government's Operation Halt, which is aimed at clamping down on illegal mining across the country. According to them, the work of the team seems to be gaining much anticipated results. Metro News' Henry Kwesi Bedu, as part of Metro News Galamsey campaign dubbed Galamsey Impact, visited the community and has the rest of the story.
Yes, River Ankobra has been the source of livelihood for the many communities along its banks. Large quantities of fishes from the once clean river provided income to fishermen and everybody in the distribution chain. According to residents here, the water was clean and full of life until the river became a hub for illegal mining. The good old days were gone, and in the last 15 years or more, the river looked brownish, sometimes murky, as the river, which flows about 190 kilometers south to the Gulf of Guinea, was reduced only to a gold washing medium. But the story looks different after government's renewed fight against illegal mining with Operation Halt, which is aimed at clamping down on the activities of Galamseyers. The once heavily polluted River Ankobra is gradually returning to its former glory. 40-year-old Inda Ezia is a fisherman and a resident of Ankobra, a community in the Lemble district of the western region. He tells me residents living along the Ankobra River have for years cried over the polluted nature of the river and now can heave a sigh of relief as the river is returning to its original state.
Humanity are orthodox and our first not then Galamsey ne be no so oba be heden.
Osa first in the ne nam kura. Se Galamsey mo ba nto mo asensu no. Ntane da china asujet from ba akọ operation or sunodo akọ bon akọ hwehwe machine nyina nti se ewu de sunu se wa ba ne dada mu nti se ekọ toto da on pa ye china ya to net mu so so ye china nti se fu ne saka insuo no
na catchem first na woko insuo da na se na
ntibi kura kam ka so no kunam no ibu woko pona na no ma tatam sunani na kam sa na kuma mu kuna no mu hina o ma bobo utumi ne unyubi.
Okay. Na next work or so who the excavators why did we block no?
Then we block kwano. No more since you kura. Mutu excavator for mutu fan sunu do ko. Mo sunu kura.
It's not oil who na abed no way won sunu.
No, say dey ntumi nya wi. Say me menye soja ni, menye police ni.
This is sunu no be how many days in no started or sesa?
O be 4 days ni. Say me 4 days ni. This is nani I fine.
When was the last time you called Sunodo?
Over 3 days.
I call a name with the
Sunasa.
As a walk ahead of show machines.
And of course, I should machines in most is also much tubing from Marco.
And with them, my banner and no one show machines now, the 9 warrior.
And
they hope government effort will be sustained to ensure their source of livelihood is protected. Henry Kwesi Bedu, Metro News, Ankobra.
So expect more of such reports as far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned. Now, the Ghana Statistical Service recently announced the inflation for the month of May of 7.5%, a drop from 8.5% recorded for April 2021. On the back of this, Metro News decided to interact with some citizens on what they make of this drop in inflation and its impact on their standard of living. Here's more.
My take on that is that all these economics jargons that these politicians tell us or these economists tell us, they do not reflect on in the ordinary person's pocket. Because what is inflation to the ordinary person who picks structural, who buys from the ordinary market? It does not reflect on his pocket. Because I want to see that when I go to the market and tomatoes is, let's say, 5 cedis a bucket, after the inflation has come down, I should go there, I should be able to find the prices to be like 2 cedis or 2 cedis 50 pesos. But if I go to the market and instead of 5 cedis, I'm paying 6, 7 cedis, then it doesn't reflect on my pocket. What I suggest is that all these economics that they come to tell us, they should explain it in the local language for the people to understand. What is inflation? How do you explain inflation in my local language? My grandmother who is staying in the village, how does it understand? Does she understand inflation? She doesn't understand inflation in any way. So what is most important is for real prices of goods and services to come down.
Yeah, it do affect me because I think the figures are not what we see on the ground, because things are really tough now. So when they are sitting on the top there and they are massaging figures, if they come down, they will know that it's not like that. Now unemployment is very high, and it's like everything is normal. To them, I think they have forgotten what they said to us. So they should really calm down, or they should go back to what they said to us in 2016 and work on their plan of what they promised to do.
You know, Ghanaians don't do that things. Because if they say this and inflation have come down, what are you supposed to do? Also have human feelings. So they also do something better to help. But the thing government can do all these things. Government cannot do all these things. We also have to help. But we're not ready to help. If things have come down, if I'm selling this motorbike at 20 Ghana cities, and inflation have gone down, I'm supposed to follow 15 Ghana cities. But I said, I'll still sell it higher than how I got it. You see it?
It doesn't inflate me anyway. It doesn't cost anything to my life because I'm a Christian and I live by the word of God. So the word of God is my standard. So it doesn't matter what is happening in the world or in Ghana. God is my shepherd. I pay money, but God provides me, so I don't need to care. Because Jesus said that we shouldn't worry about what we should eat or how we should live our life, because He is our provider. So when it comes to you being a Christian, you don't have to worry about what the word is talking about. The Bible says that when people are saying there is a cast down, we shall say there is
a very interesting views, I should say. Now it's time for business, and the businessman is here at the moment. Hello, Wilson. What's happening in business?
A lot is happening in the world of business, but I know at the moment we live by faith and not by sight. That's an interesting one.
Very interesting.
Welcome you to business here on Newsnight. I'll bring you updates on the commodity markets and other developing stories happening in Ghana. Stay tuned. Now to our first story. The Ghana Stock Exchange recorded its highest monthly value for this year as value of shares traded hit 72 million cedis in May 2021. Here's more on this report read to you.
The month of May 2021 also recorded its second highest monthly volume of trading of 58.9 million shares changing hands. The volume and value traded represented an increase of 98% and 134% increase respectively over the previous month. MTN Ghana's share was the most active stock on the GSE. The managers of the exchange described investor confidence as soaring. This is due to the performance of companies such as GOIL, GCB Bank, Societe Generale, Enterprise Group, and Standard Chartered Bank. Also, the market for fixed income securities such as bonds and bills continue to increase as volumes traded for the year so far reached a little above 92 billion cedis. This is an increase of 128% period last year.
Now, moving on, the African Continental Free Trade Area Young Entrepreneurs Federation, a private sector organization, is set to mobilize and train entrepreneurs, particularly women, on reaping the full benefit of the African Continental Free Trade Area. According to the General Secretary of the Federation, Sharif Gali, its primary motive is to empower the youth to take advantage of the agreement.
The African Continental Free Trade Area was founded in 2018 and commenced trading activities on 1st January 2021. It was created with 54 of the 55 African Union nations. The agreement will provide preferential trade terms of up to 90% of goods and services traded within the sub-region. It is in this regard that the African Continental Free Trade Area Young Entrepreneurs Federation, AFIF, have been established to work with their AFTA Secretariat to promote and support entrepreneurs. Sharif Gali is the General Secretary of the Federation.
The way the protocols are being laid now, you will say that is for the big industries. No, we want to empower the young people who is, let's say, selling gari in our shopping malls. This is the time they need to take it from there and enter the African market. But we need to empower them to add that value that they can be able to leverage. Aside that, funding is one key thing that young entrepreneurs in Africa face. With the Unified Front, one of our key activities is that we will engage investors to ensure that the young African entrepreneur has the needed capital they will get to be able to empower them to trade on the continent.
Minister of State at the Nigerian High Commission, Esther Adibola Arewa, has been speaking on trade relations between Ghana and Nigeria in African Continental Free Trade Area.
You know, something about Nigeria, Ghana is that I want to understand that we are together. We are brothers. And if you know, in recent time, just recently, a delegation was here in Ghana to discuss the issue of traders here. So very soon, I believe that you will know the outcome, but everything I believe is going to turn out well. I just know that all African countries need to cooperate together to ensure that trade market goes on smoothly. So, and I believe that they will do everything possible to make AFTA work.
The African Continental Free Trade Area Young Entrepreneurs Federation currently has a national membership of about 32 youth organizations across the African continent, translating to about 2,000 young entrepreneurs.
Now, transport sector operators in Takoradi, the Western Regional Capital, have called on government to adopt improved ways of managing the sector. They claim they are uncomfortable with persistent fuel increment in the country and the negative impact it has had on their operations. The operators made the call in an interview with Metro News following the recent increment in lorry fares. Our Western Regional correspondent, Sambaga Rafayu Saminu, filed this report.
In fact, we're affecting now. So why the Yarba? How can I then about hospital? Now I can't doctor treat you. No one will do. But say you can call Ampa. Increment none issue. Obey Abanonia Bibu. We send them shoot us for my. Now I can go friend or the band. In fact, years on ye, you back and 50-50. The passengers know for Yankano. A binometer say, Binoson Tassing. Sunday, a binomus a bully at the binomus on Yadin. Now I shall do you would have to fool my back member. Yet you tell the 3 cities, no, 3 cities 10 pesos, but ye 10 pesos if you do more 3 cities. I be a beautiful, but name Beno, no 20 pesos now, you're out to know. I don't go food bring so 1,000 day or they do 20 pesos. Maybe we say 1 city. Maybe we say 1 city 50 pesos. Or 50-50 to them and if you made in Canada.
Now we'll take you to the interbank forex market, how the city is performing against major trading currencies as well as the global commodity prices on the international market. That'll be all for business here on Newsnight. My name is Winston Takio. Back to Ifia and Kingsford for the rest of the news.
Thanks for bringing us business, Winston. We now go for a break and return with the latest in sports with Phil John Corte. Tuesday.
As a mother and wife, my priority is making sure my family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When Habi is out in the fields, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter Na is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
You're perfectly fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The right insurance means that you can get the medical help you need whenever you need it.
You're okay.
No, I doubt.
With Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, you can get up to 80 Ghana cedis worth of insurance per night for up to 40 nights with just a premium of 5 Ghana cedis. All you have to do is dial *110# to access your Vodafone Cash menu, select financial services and follow the prompts to pay for your insurance wherever, whenever. Simple as that. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care, our concern.
Blood gives life. Life is very important. Let's donate blood to save lives. On Saturday, 19 June 2021, Ignite Media, Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM is humbly inviting you to blood donation exercise. Come donate and save a life. The donation will take place at Metro TV's premises on Dr. Issa Street, close to Alisa Hotel at North Region, Accra. The blood donation exercise will start at 7 a.m. It is in commemoration of the World Blood Donation Day. Join us to save lives as we donate blood for the Blood Bank. This exercise is in partnership with Blue Skies, Pharma Nova, and 3Fair. Share blood to save a life.
For people like you.
You're still watching News Night on Metro Television. Up next is Sports with Phil John Cote. Hi, Phil.
Hi, my brother. How are you?
Great.
Well, we'll be focusing this time on the Black Stars. They'll be playing on Saturday against the men from Abidjan, but we'll be focusing on MTN FA Cup. Up next, we're bringing you sports. My name is Phil Jonukwate. Let's start the sports segment of the news with the MTN FA Cup. The round of 32 matches draw has been held here in Accra with the teams segmented into 3 groups. But just before we give you the schedules, let's speak to the vice chairman of the MTN FA Cup and the sponsor.
It is gathering momentum now. One thing that I'm happy with about is that the lower teams have now gathered strength. You know, looking at the way they are progressing, it tells you that there may be surprises.
For our football lovers, we will be deploying fun engagement activities on our online platforms, including the MTN Hot Seat app, which is available on both Android and iOS. This will commence from the round of 16 matches all the way up to the final game. Now, the prizes up for grabs include high-end devices, shopping vouchers, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that this season will be more exciting as we see the display of Ghanaian talents in a beautiful game we all...
So let's focus on the fixtures of the round of 32 matches of the MTN FA Cup. Should be on your screen pretty soon. You find out who's playing. There you have it. Tamale City will play against Techiman City. That will be in Group 1 or Group A. Pagap Crocodiles will take on Adriana Stars, Adriana FC. Then Steadfast will take on Brecum Chelsea over there for group. The other group, you have Thunderbolt playing against Asante Kotoko. Karela and Mediama will tackle themselves in a Zima derby once again. Elmina Shark will play against Vipers. Then Deportivo, Aksokwa Deportivo will play against Car FC. Quite interesting fairings. Then Atra Devisa will sort things out with Okwawu United. Hasselfolk, who are looking in fine form now, will take on Windy Professionals. Legon Cities, they'll be at home against Fire Rangers. We'll find out whether that game will be played because of Fire Rangers issues with the FA. Then Young Wise will take on Wafa. Out of Lions will be Akpando against Accra Great Olympics in that tie. That should be very, very exciting to see. So those are fixtures of the MTN FA Cup. Let's focus on tennis, and Ghana's female teams are preparing for the Jilibane Cup that will take place in Lithuania. Today, we are at their training session at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Billie Jean Cup, formerly known as the Fred Cup, is an international women's tennis team competition. This year's championship has started across the world since April, with Ghana positioned in the Euro-African Zone 3 group. Ghana's female all team currently training at the Accra Sports Stadium court are in the same group alongside Kenya, Namibia, Botswana, Albania, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Azerbaijan, Nigeria, Rwanda, and Iceland. The competition will be held in Lithuania between 15th and 19th June, with 4 players representing Ghana. The final 4 players will be determined by coach Albert Atta. The ladies' tennis team, who are currently on a non-residential training session, include Nashika Macaulay, Manya Macaulay, Annette Crucian, and Ruth Amega.
Before we put this team together, we had a ladies' challenger tournament where we used that for the ranking system. So after the ranking system, we pick the first 6 players to come prepare, and then after we can pick the best 4 that are in their peak performance, highest peak performance. So currently, this is what we have.
At the end of the day, it's not about winning. It's about the exposure and experience that they are going to get. These are all part of the preparation towards the African Games 2023 that Ghana.
There you see the ladies preparing for the Billie Jean Cup. Bring all that date regarding they're expected to leave Ghana on Sunday. Let's go to Europe now, because European Championship will start on Friday. That chilling encounter involving the men from Turkey. They will welcome the gentlemen from Rome in the first game. Wales will be at home at Cardiff. They'll play against Switzerland. Denmark, they will be at home at Copenhagen, and they'll welcome the gentlemen from Warsaw. Belgium will be at Brussels and play the Russians at home. Then the 3 Lions of England will play the men from Zagreb, that is Croatia. Austria will play Northern Macedonia. That's a cracker on Sunday. We'll see the other fixtures of the European Championship on our screen pretty soon. Netherlands, they will be at home Amsterdam playing against the men from Kiev. That is Ukraine. Scotland will be in their hometown in Glasgow. They'll play against Czech Republic. Poland will be in Warsaw. They'll play against Slovenia. Spain will be in Madrid. They'll play against the gentlemen from Stockholm. Then Hungary will take on the defending champions. They are the men from Lisbon, Portugal. Then France. A lot of people think they are the favorites. They will be at Paris and play against Germany in the finals. Well, that's it for sports. My name is Feo Jonokote. Back to Ifya and the gentleman for the rest of the news.
Yeah. All right, Phil, thanks so much for bringing us sports updates. We now bring you entertainment news, and shortly.
Masa, jam kubari am kan ku fi aya mi dunu mo baje bona jam wai ha be biya yu ki am be bi wai HD logo the bottom. Wait you say HD local channels na mo hedo. And so pictures here clear. E 5 times better. As other channels that could be show hormone. So go dey mention mon tram ra ka why. Oh, what the pictures.
Who knows tomorrow?
What a picture. kwaju AD plus decoder or multi TV and now Electroland agent PIA natural local channels na HD mu the here so better star 879 hash numbers from people box and now the advert 80 channels na
get an HD Plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just 89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Feely promo lasts from 7th June to 9th August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
And it's time for entertainment here on Newsnight. My name is Desmond Okreku-Das. Now let's talk about Musica because they released a statement earlier this week appealing to the president to consider lifting the ban on public performances to enable musicians and other performers work to earn their livelihoods. Now the press release was signed by the acting president of Musica, Bessie Simons, and we have him on the line to give us further comments on the press release. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us this evening. So, respect to the restrictions imposed by government on social gatherings, that also protect livelihoods. Now, you're calling for the president to lift the ban on musical performances. Don't you think that you're going to put individuals at risk here? Okay, so we'll get to talk more about this later when we get Uncle Bessie Simons on. Let's move to Nigeria and talk about the Grammys. Of course, the award-winning artist Burna Boy has officially received his 2020 Grammy Award plaque.
Nigeria music star Burna Boy has finally received his Grammy trophy months after being announced as the winner of the Best Global Music Album category at the 2020 Grammy Awards ceremony. In an excited online post, Burna Boy took to his Instagram on June 10, 2021 to share photos of his plaque, accompanied by a video clip of himself and longtime producer Lyric in the studio. He wrote, "Early morning deliveries from across the pond. My parents prayed for excellent children, not houses, cars, all things. They asked my sisters for stellar degrees. One got a first class in finance, the other got a distinction in engineering. They asked me for a Grammy and here we are. I'm a product of sacrifice. Thank God and thank you all again." Burna Boy's twice as tall album emerged winner of the Best Global Music Album category ahead of Full Chronicles by Antibalas, Agora by Bebel Gilberto, Love Letters by Anushka Shankar, and Amaja by Tinari Wen. Twice as Tall was executive produced by American music mogul Sean Diddy Combs and featured musical acts like Chris Martin of Coldplay, Naughty by Nature, Stormzy, You So So Enjoy, and Sauti Soul.
And that will be it for entertainment on Newsnight. My name is Desmond Okreku. Back to you, Efia and Nana.
Thanks so much for bringing us entertainment updates. We now bring you news across our borders. U.S. President Joe Biden and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson, are discussing refreshing the so-called special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. by signing a new Atlantic Charter.
A possible reopening of transatlantic travel is also on the agenda. The meeting came ahead of the G7 summit in Cornwall in southwest England, where heads of state and government from 7 wealthy economies will meet on Friday.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Ghana is a beautiful country. There is so much of it you probably haven't seen, haven't experienced, haven't